My name is Kevin Hewitt. I'm the Executive Director and President of Christian Children's Home of Ohio, and our family of ministries encompass Christian counseling and encourage foster care and adoption. We have been an agency ministry for 48 years, located here in Worcester, Ohio, as well as throughout the surrounding counties with our outpatient counseling and our foster care and adoption. When we first started looking into building a new gym and classrooms and a cafeteria, we kind of went with an architect that really didn't understand really our vision, our mission. Their first rendition was several nearly $5 million that on our campus just really would have stuck out like a sore thumb. We had a really tough time, I think, in interacting with them. It took a long time to get some of the drawings done. I don't necessarily know. I mean, they were a busy, good reputation. They were just a busy architectural firm that I wouldn't say we were necessarily on the top of their list as to get back with, and it took several weeks, if not months, to get some answers to questions or to even get the preliminary drawings done. And it was just like, I don't necessarily know if we ever really connected. It was probably the best way to look at it. Actually, I was introduced to Building God's Way through Ron Wenger from Weaver Commercial Contractors, and as we were still trying to figure out how to get our vision actually built, Ron came to me and said, hey, they had just developed a relationship with this Christian architectural firm out of Utah called Building God's Way, and that they did what he considered a pretty unique approach and called a charrette. And the charrette was actually a 3-day intensive design period, and that at the end of those 3 days, we would have 95% of our preliminary drawings done and be ready to present things to our board, to our employees, to our donors, as we looked at, again, raising the capital needed to build a building. And I have to be very upfront. I was kind of skeptical of the fact that they could do it in 3 days, particularly in light of our previous experience with the other architects. And so they came out on a Wednesday, and it was not even Wednesday in the morning. It was Wednesday at 2 o'clock, which made me even a little more nervous of the fact that it really wasn't even a full 3 days. But they came out Wednesday at 3 o'clock, came up to our campus here in Worcester. We have 175 acres that we host our Christian Children's Home of Ohio component, which is our residential center. We have 5 cottages. They took an hour tour of our barns and everything else, talked to our staff. We met at 3 o'clock in our worship and retreat center with other residential staff and administrative staff. Austin and Brad were 2 of the architects that came, just really neat guys. I can tell you, I was very, very impressed when they opened. They asked for anybody who would be willing to open the meeting in prayer. Once we did that, they just really wanted to ask questions and understand where we were coming from. We had sent them some preliminary stuff, so they were at least aware of Christian Children's Home of Ohio and our family of ministries. But they really, in a short amount of time, was able to talk to the head of our commissary and get some understanding of what he wanted in the kitchen, talk to our school liaison, Louie, and be able to get an understanding of what he needed in the gym, talk to our residential director, Peggy Smith, and get an understanding of what she needed from her perspective, from our cottage supervisors. It was just a really, really neat discussion, and they were taking furious notes, and Austin was even asking some questions, kind of probing a little bit where we're at. They literally left campus at about 4 o'clock that day, and we were to meet again at 2 o'clock the next day. And again, I'm still a little skeptical of because of the process we've had before. At 2 o'clock, Austin and Brad came down, set up the computer, and had preliminary designs done. They had where the location of the gym would be built. They had the renovation, the floor plan for the renovation of the Worship and Retreat Center. which includes a commercial kitchen and moving all of our school classrooms up into that building. Included that. They really had all of that done within that 24-hour period. And so on that Thursday then, we really spent some time fine-tuning the preliminary drawings. And also, I should mention as well, is that Weaver commercial contractors were also with us during that period. So Ron Wenger, the president of Weaver, has been instrumental. He's a member of our board. He kind of knows what we would like and what fits into our ministry. So him and Dave Hershey and John Fiala also spent time with us. We're there at all three of those meetings. Very helpful because they can come in from the building of understanding where CCHO has been over the last several years. So that meeting on Thursday, we had again the same amount of our staff. We're able to tweak some things with the bathrooms, tweak some other things. They had some questions from like a building perspective. Wanted to know if we felt that that was a good location where they had placed the gym. They were very cognizant of the fact they wanted to make it look like it fit into the campus. And that was, I think, a huge part for us as well, because our first couple renditions really would have stuck out like a sore thumb because they were just so much more extravagant than our campus really is at this point. They went back, and on Friday afternoon we kind of had a wrap-up meeting. So it was literally 48 hours. It was 3 days, but it was 48 hours when they left. We met, and they had preliminary designs done. They had exterior views done. They had the layout, the plans. It was amazing, is the best way I can put it. And then just to see it on our campus and see, like I said earlier, how it fits in, it has been a tremendously easy thing to build momentum because of how nice of a job that they have done and how it just fits together. And so we really appreciate Building God's Way, and particularly Austin and Brad that came out and worked with us. I think that the relationship with Building God's Way is just, in those 3 days we clicked. I mean, I think Austin and Brad understood our heart, and for them to have an understanding of where we wanted to go, and so we were able to, with the help of Weaver Commercial Contractors, in just 48 hours on campus, build a tremendous amount of momentum just on campus among our staff. They were excited. Jeremy is our commissary guy, and he was pumped up to see the commercial kitchen and what he could do with that. Our Louis, who I mentioned earlier with the gym, when he saw the renderings of the gym, and again, just excited about what allows our kids just to have a place to play. We're excited to get started. We're excited for Building God's Way, and their desire is really to be an architectural firm that glorifies God and all that they say and do. And I know that that's Weaver Commercial Contractors. So for us, it's a no-brainer to go with them, and we really appreciate them. We look forward to the rest of this process.